Hi, hey, it's me again. Back for a chat, 21 days chat. I've called this series that I'm trying to get going here, the 21 days chat series. So what I wanted to do is just spend the next 21 days, maybe just for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just reading something, having a chat. If there's anything that's on your mind, like I think it was yesterday, someone said to me, can we talk about boundaries? So we spoke about boundaries. I'm hoping that we can explore boundaries a bit more later on. Someone suggested a reading, so I'm going to try and see if I can find that reading and then post it as well. See, I've got 3 people watching. Yay, 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 yay. It's exciting. 4 people watching. So that's exciting. Say hi. Tell me who you are so that we can chat. How are you feeling after today's rush? I mean, I tried to go and get some bread today. Well, bread and toothpaste because I realized I'm about to run out of toothpaste. And there were long queues everywhere. I've lost 2 people. Bye. There were long queues everywhere, so I've lost 1 more person. But hey, I've still got 1 person watching, so let's see. There were long queues everywhere, so it looked crazy. So it made me feel a bit anxious. So I have been feeling a bit anxious today. I'm not sure why, but I think it's just the impending isolation or sense of isolation. That all of us are going to start experiencing. I really wish I could have gone home, but it's not to be. I'm stuck here. Hi Sibu. Hey. Thank you for joining. So if there's anything that you want to chat about, let me know. Hi, Mpumi. Hi. Let me know. But I thought that do me so. Wow. Hey. So what I've been doing is that I've been taking a passage from a book every day and reading it and just trying to use that to create connection, because this whole thing is about connection. Let's connect. Some of us live alone. Some of us might not live alone, but we just want to connect maybe after supper. I've just finished making supper, and I just want to connect and just talk to people. So if there's anything that you want to say, let me know. Hi, Ayanda. But I'm just going to read a passage from this book. It's a book by Habiba Baderun. She won an award at the Humanities and Social Sciences Award about 2 weeks ago. And I got this book as a gift. So I've been reading this book. It's a series of poems called The History of Intimacy. She's obviously, she touches a lot on her experiences in the Cape Flats. There's one poem which I think is very relevant to today. A lot of people are talking about how they lived through the state of emergency. So a lot of us lived through that during those oppressive times. Hi, Siwu. Okay, so yeah, I'll chat. So a lot of us lived through the oppressive times during the state of emergency. So a couple of my friends were saying that this is not new to them. This is not new. Being confined into small spaces. Like if you grew up in a township, they would literally, the SADF in those days would literally put a fence around sections of a township and shine those bright lights. You couldn't even sleep. I remember there was one at the back of our house. Shine those bright lights into your houses, and they would literally monitor and patrol all the streets. So we were constantly, we grew up under lockdown. So I've experienced that twice in my life. First time in 1976, I was 7, I think. and then the second time in the 80s as well. So I've lived through those times. So a lot of people are saying, whilst this might be new to a whole lot of people, for a lot of them and us, almost like, hi, mommy. A lot of us have got like PTSD from the seeing the army walking in, because we grew up during those times when, hi Monty, grew up during those times when we were corralled basically into townships, and we were watched, and we were restricted in terms of what we could do. I remember my cousins who used to work in Cape Town. They would tell us stories of how they had to carry dompasses in Cape Town all the time, and how they had to be indoors by 7 o'clock. So this is like ringing bells for a whole lot of people. Obviously, now it's happening in a democracy, so maybe it doesn't feel as intrusive as it was then, but still, so everyone was complaining. There are people who are saying, we've been through this, we've been through worse, we would be tear gassed. I remember SADF would come into our house, go to the stove, open the pots and throw everything on the floor, and open the wardrobes and take out the clothes. I specifically have memories of that. So when we had state of emergency, so for a lot of us, this is just ringing bells from those times. And for a lot of people who are saying, why are we living under lock and key? We want to walk our dogs. There are another group of people that are saying, this is what we went through. You must feel it as well. So I wanted to read something that sort of resonates with that story, with that narrative around being confined and being defined by who you are and the color of your skin. So Habiba obviously grew up during the same times as well. And I'm going to spend like 2 minutes quickly reading a paragraph. I hope you'll stay with me. It was a very interesting book. So this poem is called No Name. My parents only bought in bulk or on discount. No name brands. They saved up for years, saying no to all our requests, then bought everything in cash, even the car. Eventually, we learned not to ask for things, not even to want them. Even desire was spared from us. Our salt was no name. Our milk, our clothes, ourselves. Through these plain white boxes with blue writing, the label of no money fell on us, stuck to our skin, told us that we ourselves were generic, interchangeable. No name was clear on our bodies. Not to matter at the level of the skin was the law, but to not matter at the level of what we wore and what we ate, that cut deeper than the law. Now, after all those decades of discipline, something is loosening between being overwritten by the body, by the present. My mother grumbles about a spoon or duke she cannot find in the endless maelstrom of the house. And I try to salve the loss by repeating something I've heard from her all my life. Die es dunia se goede. This is what she used to say. Those are only earthly things. But I am on the earth, she replies, suddenly unanswerable. Yes, she is on the earth. And Parkinson's has given her permission to turn what has been refused to her, deferred, forbidden, not now, not non-white. The power of that negative, that emptiness against the fullness of white, none, no. During apartheid, we created a potent of no of our own in order to resist, to struggle. We understood that to withdraw ourselves, to disappear deliberetely, to call attention to our absence, would make our non-matter. If we don't exist for you, we bargained. How does it feel when our money, our labor, our presence doesn't? Some of you might remember, like the Stay Away campaigns. where we try to withhold our labor, withhold our monies, withhold, our custom from white-owned shops. Our potent no grew and boycotts cut against it, cut against the non and against the non-existence of us. We screamed against the blank, against the no name. We refused. We said no to the none. But it was not a yes. And no against none is not a yes. It was still raging against something. And on the other side was fullness, desire. Yes. To us who had been made into fractions, we had been made into fractions of whiteness, into nothing, into not on this earth. Black offered a new home, fullness. And yet it was a public fullness, a fullness for the era of privation. We had no, we had boycotts. We withdrew into our complex silences and absences, but behind them was a private hurt, the hurt of the none. And so upon freedom, none did not protect us from a certain emptiness. Don't tell me that the small hurts don't matter, that our private emptiness doesn't count. Every label visible on the outside of the garment is a scream against the none. So stop telling us why you're buying expensive stuff. It's a scream against the none, against us being made into a fraction of whiteness. In freedom, we wear brands on our skin until we believe that what they say, until no one can tell by our clothes who exists and who doesn't. We buy our existence, our bodies clothed in labels. We ourselves become brands, names. At last, we are not nothing. We are a name. We exist. On this earth, I am on this earth. So yeah, that is a poem from Habiba. So I love this book. If you can get it, it's published. It's everyone who entered this competition is associated with the Wits University Press. So she's got some fantastic poems that sort of chronicle her experiences on the Cape Flats. Basically, she's the same age as I am, so we've had similar experiences. So I thought this was a very relevant poem, especially today as we go into this period where a lot of people are going to experience that state of not existing. So I stay in a block of flats where there are a lot of people who have staff that actually stay on the roof. So last night, we got a message that anyone's got staff that's staying on the roof. If they have more than 2 people in the room, they need to make sure that there are only 2 people in the room when the inspection happens. What's going to happen to the other people, the other +2s that live on the roof, that now must find a place to go? They must go back home, whether it's the Eastern Cape or KZN. A lot of the guys are from the Eastern Cape and KZN. Now suddenly there's an inspection coming. They must leave because now we need to control the numbers in the building, because we must reduce the risk to the old white people that live in this building. So it's an interesting time. So it's not just a lockdown just because it's a virus. I think the virus has come at it's a necessary intervention, not just in the world globally, but for us as South Africans as well. There are a lot of things that have been left unspoken and that we haven't actually grappled with and addressed. So I think a lot of us were non-whites, nons in those days, and we believe that we have been accepted into this fullness that was defined by being white. We are no longer fractions. I think Eusebius Makaiser actually wrote an article around this whole experience of people basically trampling over the mass market, people who can't really afford to stock up, and for the lockdown. It really struck a chord with me. And when I experienced what I've experienced today in our building, as beautiful as it is riddled with old style apartheid behaviors. These people must just now leave because we've decided that we want to limit the numbers of people that are in this building. What should they do? So they're no longer welcome, and they must go back to where they came from. So yeah, so it's been an interesting day for me. I felt uneasy. I normally rage against what I see as injustices, but I'm tired. And I am not on the board of trustees. So I've been trying to figure out how do I address this. Last week I asked one of the security guards why isn't the sanitizer by the entrance, because they sit there and they let people in. People have to sign in. There was no sanitizer. There was nothing. So there was no care taken towards people that ensure the safety of the people that actually live here. So yeah, it's interesting times that we live in and that we're in. And I think this is, for me, I feel like this is an end of an era. I think after these 3 weeks, I certainly am going to be a bit more, yes, I've always been argumentative and trying to push, push where I can, but I think I'm ready to actually push even more, so this can't be it. This can't be how we live. This can't be acceptable, just decide that they must just go, must just fuck off. We have enough people then, so here, so we must restrict the numbers. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. I thought I'd address a couple of things. I'll share the title, Siwu. Yes, it is called The History of Intimacy, Poems by Habiba Baderun. I'll try and see how we can purchase these. Very, very interesting book. I love it. I think, it will resonate with you. A lot of the stories. It addresses things like sexual abuse of a minor, addresses issues of displacement, racism, also intimacy on a personal level as well. So that was today's topic from my side. I'm hoping that the next couple of days, the next 21 days, we'll find more to chat about. I've got a lot planned, but if you have anything, that you want to chat, let me know. I've created a website called 21 Days. I'm hoping that it will go live tomorrow. So every time I have a conversation here, even if there's no one watching, I'm going to put content there. If I want to explore, if I can get someone to explore something further, I'll put the content there. But I'm hoping that you enjoyed today's conversation. So that's it. And why am I doing this for those people who are here for the first time? Because I just want to chat. I want to connect with people. I want to talk. And so I thought this was a great platform. It's free. Apart from the data, I can do it in the comfort of my own home. Bukhel is asking, what are we cooking tomorrow night? Ooh. Here, blog, yes, Lindela. I've actually created a website, blog, so I'll make it go live tomorrow, hopefully. AfriHost is giving me problems. So tomorrow, let's see. I'll post what we will chat about, but if you have any other ideas, I'm trying to get a balance between how I'm feeling and also what's happening during the next 21 days. So I read the news. I look at what's happening on Twitter. It's depressing. I don't like Twitter, but I go through it just to get the mood and feel of what's happening. And then I go on social media to check. I actually follow a lot of news sites just to check what's happening. How are people feeling, and then I touch on it. So yes, Lee, I will share the details of the website once it's up, but it will be called 20, the number 20, and then onedays.co.za. So I'm still setting that up. Hopefully AfriHost won't disappoint me. But thank you for joining me, on these. This is my third one. Hope you enjoyed it. So thank you, guys. Have a great night. I thought I'd sit until 12 o'clock and have a glass of wine and a party by myself. So if you want to join me, I'm going to have a party at 12 o'clock to enter the 21 days, because I'm not going to be drinking for the next 3 weeks. So but thank you. Thanks, Lee. Thanks, Michele. Thanks, Sibu. Thanks, everyone who's joined. Thanks, Nathan. Thanks, Wins, Shells, Kabelo, Nobuntu, Neba. Thank you, guys, and bye. See ya.